What if I told you that the world order as we know it is changing? The United States, the world's only superpower for decades, faces challenges from China and Russia. Both countries are vying for power and influence on the global stage. Prominent military figures in the US have even announced that they expect to be at full-scale war with China by as early as 2025. In a recently leaked memo, General Mike Minihan, head of the US Air Force's Air Mobility Command, warned his personnel that they should be prepared for a potential war with China within the next 2 years. The memo, dated February 1st, 2022, has been verified as authentic by Major Hope Cronin, a United States Air Force spokesperson. General Minihan wrote in the memo, "My gut tells me we will fight in 2025. I hope I am wrong." The leaked memo from General Minihan has caused concern among many people as tensions between the United States and China continue to rise. While it's not clear what actions the United States will take in response to this warning, it is clear that military leaders are taking the possibility of conflict with China seriously. And, of course, the potential for a war between two of the world's superpowers is a matter of great concern to all. This new era of global superpower conflict is complex and multifaceted, from trade wars to cyber attacks and military tensions. But what led us to this point? And what are the key factors driving these tensions? Join us as we explore the historic events and current issues shaping the current state of global power dynamics. But before we get into it, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe. We will cover some important and controversial topics on this channel, and your support will really help us with the algorithm. The United States has been a dominant force on the global stage for decades. However, China and Russia have challenged the country's power and influence in recent years. The US has been forced to navigate a changing global landscape, dealing with challenges ranging from trade wars to cyber attacks and military tensions. China's rise as a superpower has raised concerns in the US and other countries about its intentions and potential threat to the current world order. With its rapid economic growth and technological advancements, China has become the primary contender to US supremacy. The country's Global Belt and Road Initiative, substantial internal economic growth, and expanding international trade have allowed China to expand its influence while strengthening its military capabilities. Under President Vladimir Putin's leadership, Russia has also been a critical player in the new era of global superpower conflict. The country has flexed its military muscles, annexed Crimea, intervened in Syria, and launched a full-scale assault on Ukraine. Russia has also been accused of meddling in foreign elections, using cyber attacks, and spreading disinformation to undermine its rivals. As we delve deeper into this new era, we will explore the various domains of conflict and the strategies employed by each key player. But first, to understand the changing state of global power dynamics, we must look at the historical factors that led us here. The Cold War was one of the most influential events in shaping the current global order. This geopolitical standoff between the United States and the Soviet Union lasted for over 4 decades, from the end of World War II in 1947 to the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1991, and profoundly impacted the world. The Cold War era was marked by proxy wars, nuclear arms races, and ideological struggles that shaped global politics and security. However, the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked the end of the Cold War. It ushered in a new era for global power dynamics. In the years that followed, the United States emerged as the world's sole superpower, but the US dominance would not last forever. The rise of China as an economic and military powerhouse has challenged the traditional global power structure dominated by the United States. China's rapid economic growth over the past few decades has made it an essential player in the global economy. Moreover, China's military modernization and expansion have raised concerns among its neighbors and the United States about its intentions and ambitions. So, what is the current situation now? The current geopolitical landscape has increased tension and competition between the world's major powers. The United States, China, and Russia are the key players in this new era of global superpower conflict. Each country has its own strategic interests and views on the world order, leading to a complex web of alliances and rivalries. The so-called chip war is a significant issue which centers on a global race for technological dominance. The semiconductor is a critical component in most electrical devices. As they become smaller and more energy efficient, new technical possibilities emerge. Control over the cutting edge of this industry means economic and military advantages, so the United States and China are both vying for supremacy in this area. The United States has placed restrictions on the export of certain chip technologies to China, while China has invested heavily in developing its own domestic chip industry. As the world becomes increasingly interconnected and reliant on technology, its role has become critical in the new era of global superpower conflict. In addition to the chip war, there are growing concerns about the use of spy technology by rival powers. China's recent deployment of a spy balloon over the United States highlighted the potential for new and emerging technologies to be used for espionage purposes. This has heightened scrutiny of Chinese technology firms such as Huawei, which have been accused of being a security risk. The tech industry is vital in driving economic growth and military power. Countries compete fiercely to become leaders in emerging technologies, such as artificial intelligence and quantum computing. The United States, China, and other global powers are investing heavily in developing these technologies to gain a competitive edge in both the economic and military spheres. However, the race for technological supremacy comes with risk. Artificial intelligence, or AI, has the potential to revolutionize industries ranging from healthcare to finance. But it also has the potential to be weaponized and used for nefarious purposes. Countries are racing to develop autonomous weapons and other AI-driven military technologies, raising concerns about the potential for an AI arms race. Similarly, quantum computing is seen as a game-changing technology with the potential to unlock new capabilities in areas such as cryptography and materials science. However, the development of quantum computing could also lead to new vulnerabilities, particularly in cybersecurity. As countries race to develop quantum computers, there are concerns that these computers could be used to break encryption algorithms and other security measures, posing a significant threat to global security. But what about the economics? As we've seen, the new era of global superpower conflict is not limited to military and technological dimensions, but also encompasses economic dimensions that significantly shape power dynamics. The United States, China, and Russia all have unique economic strengths and vulnerabilities that they can leverage in this conflict. Trade is a crucial component of the economic dimensions of this conflict. The United States, China, and Russia rely heavily on trade to fuel their economies, and disruptions have significant consequences. For example, the United States has used tariffs and other trade barriers to pressure China into changing its economic policies, while China has used its dominance in access to natural resources, such as rare earth minerals, to limit the United States' access. Investment is another crucial aspect of the economic dimensions of this conflict. The United States, China, and Russia all use investment as a tool of influence to shape the economic policies of other countries to align with their own interests. For example, China's Belt and Road Initiative is a massive infrastructure investment program that aims to increase China's economic and geopolitical influence by building infrastructure in countries around the world, particularly in Africa. Economic sanctions are an essential tool in the new era of global superpower conflict. The United States, China, and Russia all use economic sanctions to pressure other countries into changing their behavior. For example, the United States has imposed sanctions on Russia in response to its actions in Ukraine, while China has used economic sanctions to punish countries that criticized its human rights record or recognized Taiwan as an independent state. This is, however, not just an economic and technological conflict. There is real-world military concerns. The Taiwan Strait conflict has emerged as a major flashpoint in the region in recent years. China sees Taiwan as a renegade province and has clarified that it will use force to reunify the island with the mainland if necessary. The United States, on the other hand, has a long-standing policy of supporting Taiwan's independence and has pledged to defend the island against any aggression. The military dimensions of the new era of global superpower conflict are complex and multifaceted, with a range of weapon systems and tactics employed. One key area of focus is nuclear weapons, with the United States, Russia, and China all possessing significant arsenals. According to Statista, there are approximately 12,705 nuclear warheads globally, with 90% belonging to Russia and the United States. China has 350 warheads, but is actively expanding this. The risks associated with nuclear weapons are well known, with the potential for catastrophic destruction serving as a deterrent against their use. The US is currently the only country to have used these weapons against an enemy. Still, if Vladimir Putin feels backed into a corner in his war with Ukraine, experts warn that he might try to use his. However, the importance of cyber warfare is also snowballing. US Air Force General Mike Minihan noted, "Cyber warfare is the new battleground, and the ability to disrupt or disable an adversary's critical infrastructure through a cyber attack is now a central focus of military planning." This is particularly true for the United States and China, who are increasingly using cyber tactics to gain a strategic advantage over one another. In addition to nuclear and cyber capabilities, the major powers are investing heavily in conventional military capabilities. This includes new weapon systems, such as hypersonic missiles, and a range of other technologies designed to enhance military effectiveness, including drones, AI-powered battlefield systems, and advanced sensors. As we look to the future of global power dynamics, there are a number of potential scenarios that could play out. One possibility is the emergence of a new Cold War between the United States and China, or worse, as warned by General Mike Minihan, noting that the US and China could be at war by as early as 2025. The two countries are engaged in a wide-ranging competition for global influence, which is only likely to intensify in the coming years. Another factor that could shape the future of global power dynamics is the changing climate. The impact of rising sea levels and more frequent and extreme weather events will likely have far-reaching geopolitical implications. For example, rising sea levels could threaten the sovereignty of small island states, while droughts and other weather events could lead to increased competition for resources and mass migration to safer climates. At the same time, we must recognise the potential role of emerging powers in shaping the future of global power dynamics. Countries like India and Brazil are rapidly developing their economies and increasing global influence. These countries will likely play an increasingly important role in shaping international politics in the coming years. The new era of global superpower conflict is complex and multifaceted, with the United States, China, and Russia at the forefront of this battle for global dominance. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked the end of the Cold War. It ushered in a new era of global power dynamics that has only accelerated in recent months and years. China's rapid economic growth and military modernization have challenged the traditional global power structure dominated by the United States. These historical factors have contributed to the current state of global power dynamics, where rivalry and competition among these nations have become increasingly pronounced. If you found this video informative, check out one of our other videos exploring current economic and geopolitical news. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content from IE.